You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so why try to build a business without one? Grow your contracting business and grow your mind with Growth Mindset Monday.
What up? Great country of ours, the US of A. You can see we are now in the new office. We call it half decorated. That's about where we're sitting right now. But I'm all right with it. I'm really excited to be with you guys today on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. A little cold, a little chilly. We got our first dusting of snow this weekend. It melted pretty quick, but a reminder that the seasons have changed and it's skiing season for all you ski bums out there. If you're here live, you know the drill. Drop your name, your business name inside of the chat, and we will give you a nice little shout out. Well, this weekend for me was kind of interesting because we've been doing a lot of traveling. We've been doing a lot of work, a lot of different things. And the wife's like, hey, I just want to chill this weekend. I was like, cool, let's chill. And now you dirty-minded Netflix and chill guys. But we chilled, right? We hung out on the couch. But oddly enough, we found ourselves doing work, right? Not in a bad way. It was a good thing, right? But we also got to go out and found this really, really good Japanese restaurant, some really good sushi. We had a great time out on date night. Let's see. We've got Daniel, number one on our pop-in list. We've got Noble Custom Glass checking in from the mobile office again. Well done. Record month last month. Tell us about it, man. What happened last month that made it a record month? Love to hear that, by the way. And then we've got Daniel Watkins, Redeemed Your Homes LLC out of South Georgia. Welcome to the show. So last week, we did a lot of planning, right? A lot of planning. And this morning I did some more planning. And then I had a couple of one-on-one client visits this morning, and we did some more planning. And I was thinking about this and realizing that, you know what? Business is less about what you do and more about how you do it. Period. Right? Less about what you do and more about how you do it. I'll give you a perfect example. Tim Brown, he owns RGS Exteriors here in Salt Lake. He's a fourth generation gutter and exterior installer. Now, great-grandfather, grandfather, father all ran the business a certain way and only gotten to a certain level, right? A couple of employees, but that was about as far as they got. Well, when Tim came on, and this was about 18 years ago, when Tim came on, he said, hey, I don't want this business to be just like everyone else has had it. I want to really grow this business. And so I think this year, Tim will probably end up around 14 or 15 million. And he works 1 day a month in the office, and he will net, that means take home, he will take home about $2.5 million this year. Why am I telling you that? Not because I want you to feel guilty or feel bad, but from what I'm going to say from this point forward, okay? I'm going to pause for dramatic effect. We've got Chad Cranfield Construction, Southeast Indiana. Welcome to the show. And then Juan Alaya with Northwest Property out of Panama City, Florida. Bet you're enjoying the weather right now. Beautiful down there. So why would I want to bring up Tim, who's going to be doing 15 plus million this year, is going to take home about 2.5, and who works 1 day a month in the office? Why am I bringing him up? I'm bringing him up because I want you to know what it takes to get there. And I'll give you an example. Last week, Tim calls me. He was on his way back from Vegas. He was speaking at a builder show, and he's on his way back from Vegas, and he's like, hey, I have a problem. And I was like, shoot, what's your problem? Well, somebody that is inside of my network had contracted with his business to get some exterior work done. And the exterior work is 6 figures. I think it's like $110,000 or $120,000 for this exterior work. Well, they got the deposit, they ordered the materials, they were getting ready to do the work. Well, one of the crews that Tim uses quit, up and quit, right? So they called the homeowner and they communicated this and said, hey, we are going to be postponed a week, max 2, but we're going to get it done. We just had a crew, leave us. Well, the homeowner, again, person inside of my network, became very irate, and then said that he didn't want the work done anymore. Now, mind you, they'd already accepted the deposit, contract written and signed, everything all taken care of, right? So he's calling me and saying, listen, this is probably what I'm going to do, which is what we always do. Right? We're going to enforce the contract. Like a contract is a contract for a reason. I don't want it to come between us. And I was like, hey, Tim, this is your business. Run your business the way you need to run your business, right? Don't put what we have, right? A friendship inside or in between of business. Business is always business. That's why you have contracts, by the way. It gives you something to fall back on. Well, as we're talking more, Tim said, in the entire 18 years that I've run this business, I've gone to court 1 time. And in fact, we just finished up the trial. We won a $150,000 settlement. He goes, my contract is ironclad. I sleep well at night knowing that we're going to do well for our clients and do good with our clients. But if there's ever an issue, we have a solid contract that we can always fall back on. And it started to make me think, I'm like, we're so busy wanting to get to the next job, wanting to hire the next person, wanting to buy the next truck, wanting to do the next thing on Facebook, that we forget about what real success is inside of a contracting business. Real success, again, isn't what you do, it's how you do it. And some of you guys right now are just starting off, and that's great. Some of you guys are, somewhere around the $500,000 a year mark. Awesome. Some of you are 7 figures. Some of you maybe a little bit more, but it doesn't matter where you are right now. I will tell you that the thing that will keep you from growing consistently, not riding the damn roller coaster of, hey, a couple jobs came in, let's do the work. Oh shoot, we don't have any more jobs. Hey, let's go get more jobs. And you just ride this roller coaster up and down. The thing that will keep you from doing that is how you do it, right? We're putting together a course right now, this business basics course, right? We're going to do everything from I need my company vision and core values to I have a fully installed management team inside of my business. It's our 5 phases that we've kind of distilled, if you will, over the years, working with all these different contractors. But the reason that we're doing it is because we know what leads to success. I've seen it over and over and over again. Over the last 7 years, I think we've helped contractors generate probably close to 100 million. I'll have to research that number, but it's at least 100 million, right? Right now, we work with contractors that are doing 500,000 a year, and we work with contractors that are doing 15 million a year, right? Like there's a spread, but it doesn't matter the industry. It doesn't matter where you are in business. The fundamentals are the fundamentals. If you don't have processes in place, you will struggle to do things consistently. And if you struggle to do things consistently, you will struggle to grow consistently. You'll be like, oh, yay, things are going great. And then all of a sudden the weather turns, oh, not going so great. Why? Because you were riding the high of the season, right? Or you were riding the high of the interest rate, or you're riding the high of politics, or whatever the thing is. What if you could eliminate all that stuff? What if you didn't have to worry about that stuff? Right? Daniel's got a comment here. I want to pop up. He says, a little more efficient with scheduling, made sure any loose ends were not sitting out there, and good old sales withstood higher price point items versus small items sucking up our time. By the way, for those of you just jumping on, I asked him, how did he have a record month last month? Here you go, right? Efficiency with scheduling, loose ends, good old sales, higher price point, right? A few things. So Daniel, well done. Now, I want you guys to start thinking about your business this way, okay? This weekend, I spent probably 2.5 hours doing nothing but scheduling, nothing but figuring out what the next step was, nothing but how to figure out how to do the same thing over and over again, right? Like it just keeps happening, and it happens that way for a reason. It happens because we let it happen that way, right? So you're either going to let it happen a way that is going to benefit you, or you're going to let it happen a way that's going to hurt you. I'll give you an example here. See if we can pop this thing up here. So this next week, we've got, we have, let me see here. We have a builder panel, okay? And when I say we have a builder panel, what I'm talking about is we're going to have a workshop where we're going to bring in builders, right? And these builders are going to be sharing. Here we go. Pull it in here so you can see this. These builders are going to be sharing what it is that they need to do, or excuse me, what trade business owners need to do to win more jobs. Now, how many of you guys either work with builders or want to work with builders? Wouldn't you like to know how that looks, right? But think about this. What goes into planning an event like this? Well, there's a lot of things. You got to get people to sign up. You got to get people to pay the registration fee. You got to make sure the speakers are scheduled. You got to make sure you have a bio and a headshot for all the speakers. Like there's all these things that go into it. Now, up until, we'll call it last month, when I finally hired my executive assistant, she's our event coordinator and she's our client success coordinator. Up until I hired Anna, is her name, guess who was doing all of this stuff? All the outreach, all the reminders, all the payments, all the emails, all the everything. This guy, right? Now, it wasn't that I couldn't do it, but by me doing it, what was I not doing? I wasn't focused on the growth of the business. I was focused on the next workshop, right? And we have workshops. I mean, it's kind of silly when you think about this. I'll show you our upcoming workshop list. It's kind of silly when you think about how many workshops we have coming up. Look at this. So this week we have our builder panel that I was telling you about, how to land more jobs. In the 21st, we have a finance workshop, how to get paid and stay paid. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about there. December 5th, this one was recently added. We're having a women in construction workshop. I'm going to go to the side here so we can see this, right? So we're having a women in construction workshop here. Now, why? Because, well, I keep getting interest, and we put up a post and we had 175 comments. So we're going to do it, right? If you're a 7-figure contractor, I'm putting this out there right now, you need to come to this event. It's 3 days. It's our Ski and Scale annual retreat. You're going to get value beyond everything you've ever imagined, okay? Probably a little late for this, but hey, if you want to hop on last minute, we're having a couple screws in January. Also in January, we're having our business basics boot camp. So if you're a brand new business or you're a couple years old and you're still missing some fundamentals, that's going to be for you. And then February, we have our social media marketing class, right? So we have all these different workshops coming up. Well, guess what? If I'm busy planning and organizing workshops, what am I not doing? I'm not taking care of clients. If I'm busy planning and organizing workshops, what am I not doing? I'm not meeting with new potential clients. Like, can you guys see this, right? So I want you to think about your business right now and say, why am I stuck where I'm stuck right now? Why am I stuck? It's because you're still doing the things that you shouldn't be doing. Tim can call me and have a conversation about the contract, but the contract is what the contract is. His guys know how to enforce the contract. They know the conversations that they need to have. They know the liens that they need to put on properties. Like, they know all that stuff. And so if there's a lapse in payment, or there isn't a payment made, or there is a conflict, or there, whatever, they have all this stuff in place, right? Again, what's duplicatable is scalable. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Not a lot of people know this. So for you guys on this call, congratulations. Get to hear this. Last week, a friend of mine approached me about starting a business. And he's like, hey, I want to start a commercial roofing business. And I was like, cool. He's already in the commercial space and he has these opportunities that keep coming across his desk. But because he doesn't have the business, he can't take advantage of them. So we sat down and we talked. We didn't talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We talked for 4.5 hours. And what we talked about is, if we're going to do this, how do we set up the business so that it doesn't depend on us in our involvement every single day? See, because the cool part about this business is I don't need to pull money out of it right away, right? I don't need it to start generating income for me right away. And so I can be very methodical and very intentional about the way I'm setting it up. So it's very easy how we're setting it up. We have the bid platform. He already sees the bids coming in because he's already bidding them. So he's going to send those jobs out to the estimator. The estimator is going to estimate the jobs. We're going to send it out. If we get awarded the contract, cool. I have a team in place that is going to take that, and then we're going to find the installers that can handle these projects, right? What are we going to look for? We're going to have the insurance. We're going to have the license, right? We're going to vet them ahead of time to make sure they can do the work, TPO and some other membrane roofing, whatever it is. We're going to make sure that they can do the work first. And then we're going to have an in-house project manager that's going to manage all that stuff. Once the project's done, we have the in-house billing that handles everything. So what's my involvement in that entire operation? Oh, that's right. I don't have any involvement. But this business, if we play our cards right, in a few years will be an 8-figure business because we know how to play the game, because we know what it takes. And because these jobs are pretty big jobs, like I think on the low end, 300,000, we're talking some jobs are $1 million plus. So it's not going to take that much to get to where we want to get to. Now, I'm not telling you this because I want to brag. I'm not telling you this because I want you to feel bad. I'm not telling you this because I want you to start a roofing company. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand what it's going to take for you to get to where you want to get to. It's not you doing more. It's not. It's you spending more time getting clear on what needs to happen, how it needs to happen, and ultimately who is going to do the thing that you need to get done. There's a great book. It's called Who Not How. See if I can find it. And we'll pull it up here. There's a book called Who Not How. I recommend reading it because what you need to understand, right? And this is actually more of a challenge than anything. What you need to understand is where you're at right now in your business. If you're making enough money to survive, you have a comfortable living. Maybe it's not all the money you want to make, but it's enough to give you that comfortable living. You need to start looking at growth through the lens of offloading tasks instead of bringing on more. What do I mean? I now look at clients in relationship to who I can hire on my team to do more of the thing that I need to do, right? So let's take the roofing company, for example, right? A good project manager is probably going to be 80 to 100 grand. That's just the way it is, right? So then I got to look at a project and say, okay, this first project out of the gate, so that I don't have money coming out of my pocket, this first project out of the gate needs to be enough to be able to afford a project manager, right? If not, then maybe I should look for another project. Why? Because I want the project manager to be there at the beginning from day one. I don't want to go visit a job site. I don't want to call a crew and figure out where they are. I don't want to have a crew come back to fix the work that they didn't do the right way. I want somebody to handle that, right? So you have to set it up that way. So for you right now, think about it, right? Think about what it is that you're doing, whether you're doing construction, you're doing redesigning homes, custom glass, property management, whatever the thing is. What do you find yourself going back to do that you shouldn't be doing anymore? Daniel says, this is a good book too. There's a quick read on delegation by Dave Ramsey. You could also listen to Dave Ramsey's podcast. Also good. Thank you for that. You're right. There's a lot of books on delegations, Who Not How, delegation. There's a bunch of them you can find. But here's the concept of delegation. The concept of delegation is not just to remove a task off your plate. It's to remove a task off your plate so that it can be done by someone better than you can do it. Better than you can do it, right? Funny, I used to think that I was the only one that could write emails. And so every week I would write an email. Bah, 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 bah. This is who we are. This is what we do. Hey, check out this cool thing. Blah, 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 blah. Well, thanks for technology, right? Now I have my assistant that can write emails the way that I enjoy writing emails. And she can put it up. And I don't have to write the email anymore. Kind of cool, right? But that was one of those things that on the weekend would take my mental energy and time out because I'm like, man, it's a weekend. I got to get this email written. And so I'd either do it early in the morning or I do it when I come back from the gym or I try to squeeze it in the afternoon when I'm trying to do stuff with the family, right? It's a thing that needed to get done, but it wasn't a thing that I needed to get done. So I want you guys to think about right now what it is that you're doing that needs to get done, but doesn't need to get done by you. What is that thing? Or what are those things? I talked about planning this morning with the entire team. We talked about video and content production. My video editor, Paul, I've been working with him for years now. He's like, hey, I have some ideas around this. Instead of just hitting record and recording this information, how about we use this framework when you're doing your videos? I was like, genius, send me the framework. We'll start using it. I'm talking to Chelsea, right, who's my admin assistant, and she runs all my social media. Well, guess what? She's like, hey, look, I know you want to post in these different groups and you want to do these different things. How about we do this and we do it this way? That'll make it easier. I'm like, genius. Talking to Anna, who's my event coordinator, right, and my client success manager. She's like, hey, listen, I know you've been doing this thing, these things this way with your clients, but I think we could do it this way and it'll be more beneficial for them. I'm like, let's do it. Right? I'm surrounding myself with a team that can do the things that need to get done better than I can do them. And that's my challenge to you guys. It's Monday. Great. November. Yay. Thanksgiving. I don't care how you feel about it. It is what it is, right? Christmas. Awesome. But what if you could hit the ground running January 1? Where you're not stuck doing all the things anymore. It's 2024. You can hire somebody remotely. You can hire somebody virtually in another country. You can hire somebody part-time. Like you can hire somebody to help you do the thing you need to do. Google My Business. Thank you, Google. When I updated my location a month ago, they suspended my account. Try as I could, couldn't get it back. So then I went to Fiverr. If you guys don't know Fiverr, Fiverr, you can find some freelancers. And I found a guy who said, hey, I can help you get your account back up and running. And I was like, cool. So he looked at my account and said, nope, can't get it up and running. But what he did say is, hey, I can get you a new account. Same location, new account, up and running. And I was like, beautiful, let's do it. I offloaded a task that was taking my mental energy and time, frustrated me completely. This morning, I get an email. Congratulations, your profile's live. Now, I almost screwed it up because I didn't read his follow-up message, which was, don't get any reviews for 2 weeks or you're going to get suspended again. And I sent a message out. I did get one, but then I deleted the message. So hopefully I won't get any more. But again, a task that needed to get done, but I didn't need to do it. That's the challenge. Find somebody to do the thing that you're doing right now that you don't need to be doing. It needs to get done, but you don't need to be the one doing it. That's how you're going to grow a business that means something, that can run without you. All right. Well, we're going to have some stuff coming up for you guys here in the next few weeks. You're going to be getting some emails from us. We got some programs, opportunities for you. If you want to join inside of our network, feel free to drop me a message. And we would love to have you guys join our network. Some of our trainings, we're going to have an online group or community in partnership with Contractor Plus that you'll be able to join. Again, get some more education on demand, but also get the things that you need to help grow your contracting business. All right. You guys know what time it is, though. Time to take this information and do something with it. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1. Off you go.